Hi friends, I'm Jess. Welcome to the Hexed Library, where I post reading, writing, book, and planning related content a couple of times a week. Today is going to be my haul for the month of March and also our Balancing the Books bingo. I am once again, I guess, changing the way that we're doing this. I'm trying to find the way that makes the most sense for what we're doing because I don't know yet, and maybe you know a better way to do this than I do. But we're going to do our haul. We're going to keep track of the number of our current TBR, and we're going to also keep track of our bingo board. Yay. We're going to try to do this all at once, and in the same way that we used to do TBR takedown. Will it work? I don't know, but we're gonna give it a shot. So probably gonna need to back up the camera some and change our angle. So let's do that. You know, just give ourselves some more space, you know? So we are starting the month of March out at a total of 42 books. I got very confused while I was doing this on paper because I was counting my current TBR and my backlist TBR as the same thing, and those are two separate things, and I know that that hurts my brain and it hurts your brain too probably, but here we are. We're gonna go through the haul portion first. I will tell you about some of these if I know about them, and if I don't, then I'm just gonna tell you what they are, and we're gonna move on. Okay, first we have Suburban Hell by Maureen Kilmer. I read a book by her earlier this year, or late last year, called Hexed Education. Yeah, Hexed Education. This one follows 3 or 4 women who are in the PTA, and I think one of the PTA members is a zombie. I then have The Initial Insult and the Last Laugh by Mindy McGinnis. I have been collecting Mindy McGinnis books to read, and I found these on sale. So, do I know what this particular one is about? No, I don't. We then have The Night House by Jo Nesbo. This is a book that I've already read. I loved this book. Okay, I didn't love this book. I really enjoyed this book. I loved the beginning. The very beginning of this book is a character being eaten by a telephone, and it was gory and glorious, and I loved it. The book's very weird. It takes some weird turns, and it was an enjoyable read, so I wanted to own a copy. Speaking of books that I've already enjoyed but wanted to own a copy, The Devouring Wolf by Natalie C. Parker. This is a mid-grade. It follows 5 teens who are in their last summer to turn into wolves. They come from werewolf families, and in this society you have so many summers to turn into a wolf. There's magic in this world, so the witches helped the wolves by making it so that they would only turn on a full moon in the summer, because that way there would be adults there who could keep an eye on them and make sure that they weren't hurting people. We're getting there. And it's their last summer to turn, and it's their last moon, and they do not turn into wolves. And it turns into this story of these 5 girls basically having to save the world and all of their families. So I then have Wires and Nerve volumes 1 and 2 by Marissa Meyer. These are graphic novels that follow Aiko, who is the android of the Lunar Chronicles series. So this is like a continuation that follows Aiko's journey. I then have Supernova by Marissa Meyer. This is the last book in, I don't even know what this series is called, the Renegades series? Renegades trilogy. Have I read the second book yet? No. Did I read the first book in like 2019? Yes. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. We'll get there one day. I then have the special edition copy of A Destiny and Ash by Julie Zantopoulos. And Julie's a friend of mine and on the YouTube, so we'll link her down below. She does Sunday night sprints, and you usually see my face there. This series follows Ashlyn, who is a witch, and then she has a fae betrothed and also a human Ravdi, who is like a person who helps her perform her magic. And it's Polly, and it's a fun time. I then have The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. This is the pick for my local indie bookstores book club this month. So I picked that up so I could read that. And then also, while I was at the bookstore, because I can't go to the bookstore without buying things, I picked up The Cat Who Saved Books by Sasuke Natsukawa. And it is translated by Luis Hill Kawai. It's about a cat and a teenage boy who save books. All right, and now we're gonna go through my reads for the month. While I do this, if it is a book that is on my physical TBR, the number will go down. And also I will tell you what boxes it checks off over here on the bingo board. If you want to know my thoughts about these books, it will be in my wrap up, which I will link down below. This is just me going through and telling you what it checks off on the bingo board and basically where it puts us at for our TBR. Godkiller by Hannah Kaner. This comes off of my physical TBR backlist. Totally Psychic by Bridget Martin, which was a library book. The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, which counts as a reread and also a book club book. I have SMP Title A, which was a new release, and SMP Title B, which was also a new release. We're not talking about St. Martin's Press titles on this channel. If you want to know more about that, I will link some information for you down below. We then have The Teacher by Frida McFadden, and that also was a new release. From Below by Darcy Coates, which does not check anything off of the bingo, but does come off of the physical TBR, so bonus. Some Kind of Blunderful by Livy Hart, which does nothing. Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, which was a reread and also a book club book. Glaciers by whoever this person is that I put on screen. I know the middle initial is M. That's about as much as I got right now. That was a 12 books by 12 friends. The Ride of Your Life by PJ Knight. This was a backlist title. Witch Volume 16, which was also a TBR backlist. Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, which was a big book, a TBR backlist, and also a final book in a series. Allomancer Jack by Brandon Sanderson, which does nothing. The Inquisition by Taryn Mathrew, which comes off of our backlist TBR. The Battle Mage by Taryn Mathrew, which comes off of our backlist TBR. This is technically the third book in a trilogy, but there is a companion novel, and I'm counting the companion novel as the end of the series for this, so this does not count as an end of the series. Vengeance of the Pirate Queen by Trisha Levenseller, which is a TBR backlist and also finishing a series. And Under the Said Rock by Mindy McGinnis, which is a new release. For our bingo board, that leaves us, we should have 1 at 12 books by 12 friends, 7 new releases, 2 library books, 12 from our physical TBR, which we're crushing, 6 book club books, also crushing, 4 rereads, which we're doing pretty good, 2 big books, and 3 series that we have finished, which is not too shabby for only wanting 10. We're more than, we're further along than we need to be for this part of the year. And looking at the top middle square, which is our under 60 physical TBR, you will see that we started at 42. We read 5 books off of our physical TBR, and we added 5 books to our physical TBR, so we're ending the month at 42. We are in the same place we were, but we're under 60. So that's all that matters. So that also went up by 1. And we get 3 months under 60 physical TBR. Look at us, we're doing great. So these are the books that we hauled. We read a lot, we hauled a lot. We did a lot of numbersy things. Let me know in the comments below if this version of the bingo board from hell, TBR takedown, balancing the books bingo, whatever this game is that we're calling it now. Let me know if this version of things works for you, or if you can think of a better way of getting all of this information to you guys, because there's a lot of information and I don't know the best way to plug it all into your brain, but this is what we're going with. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a cat emoji down below for obvious cat reasons. That is all I have for today. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell down below so you don't miss any of the fun things we have going on here. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye!